In this video, we are probably going to be talking about one of the most underrated cards in all of Infernoble. Now, what I mean underrated, I mean people are playing it in their deck and they don't know why, or they're just summoning this card because somebody told them to. Now, hopefully, you guys leave this video understanding why you need to play this card, and not just one, I'm talking about two of them. And as always, guys, before we start the video, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Alright guys, so now we are getting into the combo video. Now again, this one, it's not going to be too in-depth, it's just going to be two combos, and of course, a lot of the cards you guys already know, so I'm not going to try and spend too much time, and if I do, it's just because I like to waffle a lot. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, guys. The first combo is going to be access to Renaud plus access to Ogier. Now again, of course, you guys play all sorts of search targets, so it doesn't matter, that's why I'm showcasing Heritage plus Renaud. It can be any other combination, things of that nature, but we're going to go ahead and start off the video by activating Heritage. Heritage will, of course, grab us our Ogier. Now this is going to be very reminiscent of the high Lonzolan combo, where you go ahead and use normal summon Ogier, Ogier effect, dump Gearfried, and then special summon out Renaud like this, and then Renaud's effect will go ahead and activate to go ahead and add us our Gearfried into our hand. So again, you can make the argument to be like, oh, high Lonzolan can also do the same thing, but I mean, having the second Roland is a lot more important, because when we hard summon the Roland, we can get the end phase effect, which is absolutely cracked. But from here, of course, guys, we go Angelica effect, go ahead and grab us our Museum, and then from here we can go ahead and activate Museum effect will go ahead and trigger to pay 12, send our opponents to hell, and grab us our All Mace. And then from here we can do is we can go ahead and use Ogier to equip and then change. So again, now we're getting to the point where it's kind of standard, and like I think it's like my part 2 of my Infernoble combos post Agov. So we go ahead and run away and we dump the Turpin. So now pay attention, it's Ogier, Angelica, Renaud, that's 3, plus Roland, that's going to be our 4. So from here we summon out Roland. Now this Roland is not successfully synchro summoned or summoned correctly, so you will not get the unphased effect of Roland, so just note that. And of course everyone knows that already, but I'm just showcasing it because this combo does use 2 Roland. But from here we equip All Mace onto the Roland, and then we can do here is we can go ahead and fire off the All Mace to go ahead and set the Durndal. Decks do play All Mace as well because they're like specific lines, and I might play the All Mace depending, but from here we're just going to use Durndal because it's actually a good card. From here, because we already have the Durndal equipped to the Roland, we can go ahead and use Gearfried in our hand to banish All Mace to summon himself out, and then use Turpin to equip onto Roland. And then we're going to use All Mace to go ahead and send away to go ahead and get our Durndal, and then of course Durndal will go ahead and get Fire Flint Lady. So note that it's really important that we're keeping the equip spell, because Gearfried is our 5th summon. We always want a card to be able to send away to negate. So from here we can go ahead and summon out Fire Flint Lady, and before we do this, the reason why is because we can go ahead and link away into our Isolde, and then from here we can do is we can go ahead and use Isolde. Again, it doesn't matter what you add. I add Rise Heart just for this combo, just to showcase, but you can add whatever you want. You can add Space Connector, you can add Red Layer, things of that nature. But from here we go and use Isolde. Isolde's effect is going to go ahead and dump 1 and get our Richardetto, because if you guys aren't familiar with the combos, if you have the level 4 Fire Warrior in graveyard, you always mill 1. It can be Divine Sword and it can be Angel Ring, it doesn't really matter. From here we go ahead and we synchro, and instead of going into Richardetto and Ogier into our second Angelica, which some of you boomers play, we go ahead and just hard summon the Captain Roland. Captain Roland has the OP effect where he says blah blah whatever. If this card synchro summon, you can activate this effect. During the end of this turn, send 1 equip spell from your deck to the graveyard, then add 1 warrior monster from your deck to your hand. So again, he enables a lot more follow-up, because now we're getting multiple searches, things of that nature. I think fire off in the end phases, whatever. So Roland's effect is actually on summon as well. So from here we can go ahead and use Divine Sword. Now you guys are going to pay attention to why we're using Divine Sword here. The reason being is Turpin is equipped on the Gearfried, so I messed up. Turpin is equipped on Gearfried, not the other dude. And the reason for that is because now we can summon out our Turpin, but before we do that, we want to equip the Phoenix Blade onto the Gearfried so we still have the negate, because there are a couple combos where like the equip cell will fall off and then we're nibbable. So from here we go ahead and synchro away into our Emperor Charles. And like people said in my last video, Turpin doesn't get banished when he's equipped. He only gets banished when he's summoned from the graveyard, but I was just saying that, make sure you guys remember that. Trust me, I know. But from here we go ahead and use Roland. Roland equips onto the dude, and then from here what we can do is we can go ahead and link into our Link Charles, which is really good. And then from here Link Charles can go ahead and equip Synchro Charles, and then from here we can go and use Turpin, special summon out, because we have monsters equipped with equip spells, and now Turpin gets banished because he was summoned from the graveyard. Then we go into SP Little Knight, and then end phase, Angelica comes back, and Roland will also resolve. Note that Roland doesn't activate in the graveyard. I just clicked his effect to show you guys, but his effect activates when he is initially synchro summoned, and then he resolves during the end phase. So just remember that. I don't think it matters, but like if someone dwellers you or something like that, whatever. But from here, Roland will go ahead and dump. And now this is how Roland gets you the Angel Ring in the graveyard, because we can go ahead and choose the cards the way that our end phase effects kind of resolve. So Angelica can come back, we can dump, and then we can go to the end phase where Charles will resolve last, so you can get the angel ring. From here, this will go ahead and Charles will go ahead and grab the angel ring, and of course he will equip Malgus, and then from here we can go ahead and go Malgus pop, shuffle back 3 and draw a card. So we end up technically, so this is a 2-card combo, and then basically we end on plus 5 million because we have 5 million cards on board. We end on SP Little Knight, who's a 2 negate, 3 negate. We have Gearfried, who's another negate. We have Emperor Charles, who for some reason like is 15 negates as well. So that's just the first combo, guys. That's just a Ogier plus Renaud. You play 2 Roland, you don't need 2 Angelica, and you end on a really nice board and super better board than the other one because like it's weird link off Angelica. But that's it for the first combo, guys. Now let's get into the second combo. All right, guys, so now we are getting onto the second combo. Now again, it's going to be very similar to the first combo where it can be Ogier plus whatever, or the last combo is like Renaud plus whatever, but now this is going to be Ogier plus whatever. So of course the reason why I say whatever is because it's actually a lot different than the previous combo. The reason for it is I will showcase. From here we go ahead and use Ogier effect will go ahead and dump Turpin. Now the difference between a good Infernoble player and a pretty mid Infernoble player is like what you're dumping off Ogier, in my opinion, because people don't really realize how OP it is to dump Turpin. But from here we go ahead and we use Ogier dump, and then equip Turpin, and then we can use our Oliver in our hand. Oliver will go ahead and send the Turpin to the graveyard, summon out Oliver. Now just remember that you've already used Turpin's effect to equip, which might just come up for some people, but we already have the other monster that can equip on the board. And again, when Oliver is summoned from the hand using his effect, he's a level 1 tuner, not a level 4 tuner. I know not a lot of people know how to play with Oliver, so I think it's pretty important to showcase this combo. But from here we go ahead and go into Angelica. Angelica effect will trigger to grab Museum. And now from here you're basically off to the races. It's really similar to the other combos. Once you get Angelica plus Museum, you're more or less set up. From here we go Ogier equip, Angelica effect run away, dump the Gearfried, summon out the Roland, and then from here we go Almace, and then from Almace here we fire off, go into the Durndal effect, go ahead and add our Renaud. Special out the Renaud here, and then Renaud go ahead and add back Gearfried, and then from here we can do is we can go and special summon out Gearfried here, then we can go ahead and banish, and then equip the Oliver onto the Gearfried here. So I think that was the 5th summon, I'm not too sure. If we go Ogier, Oliver, Angelica, Roland, Renaud, whatever. So we still end up sending out Gearfried because like it's not worth to nib us here, and we still technically have plays because we haven't used Museum's effect to summon out as well. So from here we go ahead into our Isolde. Isolde again, like said before, doesn't matter what you add. More or less you want to add a Fire Warrior depending on your play, but because we already went through Oliver, it doesn't matter what you add. Like I guess you can technically add a red layer, but whatever. So from here we go ahead and synchro away, and then hard synchro into Captain Roland. It feels really good to hard synchro into him because he's like throwback to like when Infernoble had the smoke grenade. So, and I mean just hard summoning him into him is like crazy as well. But from here we can go ahead. Oh yeah, also one last thing, I'm just gonna pause the video one last time. So one final thing is the Roland that you actually hard summon, you can actually reborn off of Museum's effect, but the Roland that you don't hard summon, you can't. So it's important to kind of like note which one you summoned and which one you didn't. Just food for thought right there. Another bar for me. But from here we go ahead and link. We link into this guy, Charles the Great. Charles the Great will go ahead and equip onto Emperor Charles, and then because we haven't used the second effect yet, we can go ahead and summon him out, and then this will go ahead and use Divine Sword, banish 2, go ahead and get Phoenix Blade, equip Phoenix Blade, and then quickly link our monsters away into Emperor Charles. Then Emperor Charles number 2 will go ahead and equip, and then again, like I said before, you head to the end phase, you choose the way to resolve your effect. What I like to do is I always like to bring back Angelica, and then from there I like to resolve Roland, because of course you don't want to resolve Charles until the end because we don't have Angel Ring yet. Then Roland will resolve, dump Angel Ring, add Connector, again can add anything you want, Sublimation Knight, any other warrior, things of that nature. From here then you proceed into the end phase. So the final effect that will resolve will be Emperor Charles, who will go ahead and equips Malgus, and equips the other thingy majiggy, which is Angel Ring. And then again Malgus will do his thing, pop, shuffle back, hopefully draw a hand trap. I'm pretty sure I do end up drawing a hand trap or whatever, so shuffle back, trip and all that. Then I end up drawing a hand trap, so it's pretty good. So again guys, those are 2 quick combos that I just showcased where you can play Roland, and you play multiple Rolands as well. So the main benefit to playing multiple Rolands is again your combo lines get a lot better, kind of like your 1 to 2 card combos get a lot more powerful as well. And on top of that, you do end up having the Roland effect there, where he gives you a lot more follow-up and a sick end phase effect. And then another thing to note is the one that is hard summoned properly can be reborn off of Museum, make him a lot better, meaning that you can actually play an additional monster in your extra deck if you want to play the second Synchro Charles. But now I'm going to quickly get into the deck profile. Alright guys, so now we're just going to quickly get into the deck profile just to showcase you guys how the deck is. And of course, the main deck's not really going to change. I'm just going to quickly get into the main deck and the change that you guys can make. But again, I'm pretty sure it's more or less figured out at this point. And this is basically my list. So triple connector, 1 dolphin, Ogier, Oliver gets a lot better with these sort of combos, so if you want to play 2 Oliver, you absolutely can, because he becomes not only a starter but an extender as well. 1 Renaud, 1 Maugus, 1 Turban, 1 Richardetto, 1 Gearfried, and then 2 of the fire extenders. Then we're main decking the triple Fenrir plus Rysart, because again, like I said before in all my other videos, like Fenrir's absolutely crazy, and then being able to just main deck him, you get full combo if you open Fenrir plus Rysart and an extender, so it's crazy. Diabell start because you need her for the engine. Triple Museum, triple Heritage, double Durndal. Now another change that you can make that a lot of people are saying, and like I said in my combo video, is you can cut a Durndal and just play the 1 Joyous, because then it gives you multiple applications, or you can play like double Durndal or triple Durndal, but the Joyous is really good. The 1 Almace, 1 Angel Ring, 1 DDR, and 1 Phoenix Blade. DDR Phoenix Blade we're always going to be playing absolutely no matter what, unless it gets banned. Then the 1 Rhoda, triple Heritage, or not Heritage, triple Wanted of the Seeker, Simple Spoils of whatever, and then followed by the 1 Snake Eye, because this is how you can play to break boards and whatever extent through nibs. Then triple Imperm, triple Ash Blossom, triple Vitter, so we are playing 12 non-engine. Then going on to the X deck, we are playing the 1 Angelica because you only need 1, double Roland because this is kind of like the video that I was showcasing the combos, so that's how you play double Roland. Like I said before, you can play the 2nd Emperor Charles. It doesn't really come up, because really if we want to have kind of more resources, we just go Divine Sword, Banisher Charles, and then DDR it back, so it's pretty good. But again, you do have more of a flex spot there. The 1 Baron, 1 Dempsey because Dempsey is mandatory, double of the Link 1 Link Spider because if you play the Wanted engine, you play the Link Spider, because when you get nib, Snake Eye can't send the token, but it can send the Link Spider, so we can go ahead and use that to push through nib. The 1 Anima because I like Anima. You can play Link Creep if you absolutely want to. 1 SP, again, SP is kind of mandatory, but you don't really need it. You can cut this card. And then the double Isolde, followed by the 1 Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. Now, if there were changes and you guys were kind of complaining and saying, oh, I want it to be budget, you can just cut the Wanted engine completely. You can play like a 2nd Durandal like this. You can play the 2nd Durandal here, and then you can definitely cut SP and just play the Flame Swordsman dude, because the Flame Swordsman guy actually puts in work for me. And then if you don't play the Wanted, you don't play Link Spider, so then from there you can just play Baguska, and now just like this, you end up getting on a very budget alternative version of the deck, and you can still push through it. But that was it for my video, guys. Hopefully you guys kind of got it. I wanted to get straight to the point. I didn't want to waffle too much. My name's Hamza, and like I always say, guys, keep on shining, never going to dreams. Peace.